See who joins me this morning. We've called it Breakfast with Lindsay. What's that one? Oh, but his wife. Hey dear, that's a morning joking off. Do you know? Good morning. Do you know? I even said it then, Tracy. Oh dear. So, good morning, David. Yes, just you at the moment on YouTube. Hopefully we get a couple more on. But if not, all is good. So how's everybody this morning? Did everybody sleep well last night? I hope you did. I hope you all slept well. I did. I'm still tired this morning. Morning, Leah. See, Dave, you're not only one now. Leah's joined you. Hope everything's good, Leah, sweets. You're still in bed. She's still in bed. She's still in bed. Rob's still in bed. Won't be for long though, because once I start my chit chat, my voice raises, the vibrations in the house, and the ceiling starts moving. Oh dear. Did you all sleep well? Did everybody have a good night's sleep? I tried to get myself in a comfortable position, and I can't get in a comfortable position. So just bear with me a sec, guys, while I try and change. That's it. I've changed my position. So I hope everybody slept well, and we're all ready for England match tomorrow. Oh dear me. So we do apologise. These last 2 days have just been out of his control. One of my daughters has been really struggling at the minute, and because her other half works, and obviously hours that people work is different. I didn't sleep as it was too hot. It was hot last night, Leah. It was hot. Morning, Anne. Don't do football, Tracy. I don't do football really, but I do England. I don't mind watching when England's on. So yeah, so one of my daughters, she has been really struggling these last few days, and I've had to pop across. I've had to pop across and spend some time with her. Anxiety and panic attacks for those that suffer, but then by the time we've got home at night, I'm just knackered. And obviously we've got two little grandsons, so they're keeping me busy while I'm there, and it really just takes it out of me during daytime. So unfortunately we've not been able to go live at night, but I'm not there today. We've got somebody coming to the house, and also Jordan's other half is finishing work quite early, so hopefully all will be well. It's my grandson's birthday today. He's 6, so happy birthday, Jacob, for whenever you watch this. No, and Pops, love you loads. I know, and it's awful. It's awful. It's worse now. When she was pregnant, she had to have a C-section, but because it was during COVID, as you know yourself, all hospital rules change. Hey, morning, Judith. Hospital rules change, so women could only go in on their own, and then a partner could only go in for so long. And then when she come out, you got the fear of COVID, taking him in and out of hospital. It was just crazy for her. So she started then, and she said that this time round it's worse than what it were then, and it were bad for her then. But I'm hoping that from now over to weekend that it's going to start settling down. She started taking some tablets, so yeah, so hopefully they'll start kicking in soon and helping her with panic attacks, because there's nothing worse, as you know yourselves, from a panic attack. So yeah, so I can promise Morning, Lisa, my lovely. I can promise, guys, we are going to be out tonight. Arrangements have already been made. Claire's going to be meeting us at 8:15. So we will be live later on. Can you just pass me my bottle of water, baby, please? It's there on the table, but I can't lean forward.
It's closer to you than it is me.
It's not. Unscrew my lid, I'll open bottle. Come on. I've got right dry mouth. It's that coffee. Panic attack. I will, Leah. I will send you all of my lovely. I know I suffer with them, and when they start, and they're really, really bad. Oh God, this t-shirt. They're really, really bad when they start. I mean, it's awful. Anybody that suffers with panic attacks. But I think mental health is a strange thing, isn't it? Because we do keep quiet about as mental health issues. People are still not openly talking about it. Those that suffer properly with mental, and you know what I'm saying by properly. Those that suffer deeply with, ask Tracy if she's sober. Now, Tracy, are you sober? You drinking last night, dog? Yeah. When you move, not sure, and we're still waiting for confirmation to come through that we can go ahead. So once we get that, we'll let you guys know that the move will be happening. I don't know how we're going to do the internet, because obviously when we move, we're not going to be able to have mobile data, I don't think. Yes. Oh, are you hanging? Morning, Justine, my lovely. So yeah, I don't know whether we'll have mobile data, but our area is really bad for signal. So hopefully we can try and work something out and use the vibe that we've got to try and keep us on signal. My daughter has a panic attack at a local park. Some young guy walked her home. First one is 17. Didn't know the guy. Bless him. Oh wow. I hope she's all right, Lisa. And you know what? There is still some good people out there. Your daughter will lucky to meet up with somebody that's understanding, I think. Because in this day and age, you don't even say hello to anybody. You know, at one point, I mean, you walk down the street and I say hello to everybody, morning neighbour, morning, and all this rubbish. Now people look at you and walk on opposite side to think, tried to find him but couldn't. Oh, bless. You never know, Lisa. Do you know one day you might bump into him when you're supposed to. So just hang fire, because you might meet into him when you've thingy. I talk to anyone. I do, Lisa, out same. I can't help it. My mouth just moves. She says she's got an ocular migraine. Oh dear. You need some sleep, Tracer. You need sleep. But yeah, so like I say, with mental health, I think it's difficult, because I think those that suffer deeply with it don't talk about it. Morning, Mick. They don't. It's very rare you'll find somebody that opens up fully about mental health. They'll tell you little bits, but they don't open up, because it's such, still to this day, it's still a very still a not it needs to still be talked about more, especially when it's like panic attacks and that, because the panic attacks lead you to self-isolating yourself and to keeping yourself wrapped in a bubble, so you daren't go out, because for whatever reasons that what you're scared of, it's so real, do you know? I'm drawn to strange people, but I hope I just I'm same, Lisa. I can be anywhere, and I can guarantee you, I'll get talking to the most weirdest, strangest, wonderful people you've ever met. And it's amazing how many times I'm sat, when we've gone out for a drink, I'm sat in a pub, and you can guarantee I'm the magnet that everybody comes to tell me the business. I know everything when we go to a pub. A couple of times I've been out, and John's had to walk up and say, "Come on, we're going," because I've had. Once we were on holiday, weren't they, on Broads, and this woman come up, and I knew everything. She just opened up. I think I've just got one of them faces where people just open up and talk to me. But we had a good little chinwag, even though she was totally annihilated with alcohol. I think this COVID has made people keep themselves to them. I think it has, and I think it's true. My son's friend hung himself just before Christmas. He was only 26. Oh, Lisa. My best friend did it. Well, not my best friend. That's wrong saying. A friend of mine did that. We all used to knock about with each other when we were younger. Took us separate ways, but it's heartbreaking because you don't know that there's anything wrong, and it's so difficult for people to. Morning, Sam. Morning, Jackie. It's so difficult for people to tell those that are in need, because those that are in need of help don't talk about it. The ones that want, and it sounds, and I don't mean this to sound awful, because people are different, but the case that what I've tend to found with mental health and going into it like we have done, because obviously we've got a family history of it, so it's normal in our family. Which is odd, but it's normal, and we laugh about it. Just because we all know that we're strange or weird, it's okay. But yeah, it's well, I forgot what I was saying now. But yeah, we meant a lot. People don't, those that are really suffering, don't tell anybody, and they act as though they're happy as Larry and they're normal, because they're hiding the deeper fear, because they don't want to let anybody in. They just, they like to keep it to themselves. But yeah, I always say the same, Lisa. So Lisa's saying it on here, guys. Her inbox is always open to anybody. If anybody needs to talk, what's normal? That's the question. Exactly, Tracy. Exactly. What is normal? Normal is something that I think some moron made up, because we're all unique in his own way, and there is no normal is what we make normal, isn't it? It's what's normal to you as an individual is normal, because to somebody else it's going to be abnormal. Morning, John. Hope you are okay. Yes, he's doing fine. He will speak in a minute. He's just sat outside, mate, engrossed on his phone. Phone. It's difficult. 2 years ago, my parents found me on the living floor with cuts on throat. I hide my emotions and grief. The thing is, Sam, we always hide his emotions and his grief, because you don't want people. I tend to find the ones that are talking about it and really open about the mental health, when they sit there and I don't know, some sit there and say that they've, and I don't want to say, but they've tried to take their own lives. Morning, Daryl. That they've tried to take their own lives and stuff. And I'm sorry, but I personally know that you don't do that. You wouldn't go to your friends and say that. You wouldn't go social media and say that. Morning, Kelly. You wouldn't say it, because the people that say it are the ones that are, I don't want to say crying wolf, because crying wolf's a big word, but they don't want to burden anybody. Exactly, Sam. They don't want to burden anybody, because they think that everybody else has got their own problems, and they don't want to burden people. And do you know, it's such a serious thing. Morning, Heather. And I think this lockdown's made that more out there. You know, that you can see the people that do have mental health issues, because there's different, don't you think? I don't know if it's just me, there's different types of mental health issues, and I think majority of people suffer with, whether it's a mini breakdown, whether it's anxiety, whether it's OCD, whether it's what can you call it? A certain, when you've got a certain routine that you need to do, and all things like that. Just found out my neighbour is suffering. I gave her a big hug and said, "Please knock if she's feeling crap." That's nice of you, Lisa. Just keep checking on her. I didn't do it in the to end my life. I did it to end the pain and suffering. Exactly, Sam. But you wouldn't have told anybody you were doing that. That would have been something. Morning, Stephen. That would have been something that I think you would have. I don't think you'd have shouted that from rooftops, Sam. No, go on. Cool. I think they are calling for help when they say they are going to do it. And they are, but they're calling for help in a different way. For me, I think it's, it's the same with anything. You've got different kinds of people. I think you've got the people that truly do suffer with mental health issues, and then you've got the people that don't realise they suffer with mental health issues, and then you've got the numpties that pretend they've got these that they suffer. But what they don't realise is people know people, who suffers and who doesn't, because you're around them all the time. And it takes that big part. But for me at the minute with mental health, because of what daughter's going through, because of what friends are going through, because it's really brought it forward, I think, at minute. And I do, this lockdown's got so much to answer for, that there's not enough help for these people that need it. It's just a difficult situation. But like we said, anybody who's suffering on here, don't be scared to reach out. Don't think that we're going to sit there and we're going to laugh at you or talk about you, or everything you say to me and John is confidential, not would be confidential. It is confidential. Morning, Rebecca. Hope you're well, my lovely lady. It is confidential, and even if you think you're going to burden, you're going to say something that's going to you're not going to put that burden on me. I'm just a voice I'm just a ear for you to talk to and listen to. You don't have to hide it away, but some people are ashamed to admit it. I think that's the big thing, isn't it, Lisa? I think because you drilled into it, especially some. I mean, I think it's different for different age eras when it comes to mental health, because I think the kids that are growing up now and coming into it are more aware of mental health issues. I think the older ones, there's still that struggle coming in. But you know what? I think I'm gonna retract that. I don't even think the young ones understand it, because there's still a high rate in the younger ones. Definitely not enough awareness on mental health problems. A lot suffering silent. Speaking helps. I hide a lot from family, since talking about helps me a lot. But I'm not ashamed of saying my mental health is bad. Yeah. I was writing that different generation. Yeah, it is, Lisa. Sam, you ever need me, you just, and I know you've got some really good friends around you, Sam, and some good people, and I know you've got them to talk to, so I know that you're okay. But if ever they're not around and you do need somebody in that minute, if I message me, and I'm always here to listen, my lovely. Morning, Marie. Hope you're well. Yeah, but I think there is different generations. I mean, I look at I would say my mum's generation and my nan's generation. It was more like there's no such thing. It don't exist. And back in the, so things have changed, but I don't think they've changed enough. If that makes sense. Like Sam says, there's so much more awareness that needs to go out. And I think people need to start opening up. It's difficult, I think, to open up because you feel, stop slurping your coffee. It's difficult to open up, I think, because you keep it that locked up that you don't know how to start when it comes out, and it's like a floodgate when you start talking, because everything just comes out. But I promise you, it will help you once you've said it out loud and you've said it to somebody else. Anybody suffering, you will feel 100 times better. So right then, weather time now. The weather time. Oh, I've lost my book again.
Really?
Yeah.
It's 3 inches away from
I know, but
hand.
it is. But if I pull that, the mirror's going to fall. So the weather today is cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Look at that. So the weather today is a bit cloudy. We have got a little bit of rain forecast for later on. But it's not going to be all night. It is just going to be it's just going to be a slight rain. but we are going to be out. Good morning, Gillian. Is that what about London? I don't know London's weather. This is Sheffield. I'm just talking for Sheffield. We have got the sunshine's coming through a little bit, so that's not too bad. So we're going to start now on this day in history. So today is the 2nd of July. Get my teeth in before I start reading it. So on this day in July, and I think we're talking about 1698 now this morning. So here we go. Today, most of us associate steam engines with railways. In fact, through the first steam engine was painted earlier than is generally realised. In the 17th century, on this day in 1698, it was designed by a man called Thomas Savery, not as a means of transport, but as a way of pumping water out of a waterlogged mine, an issue that was becoming more urgent as mines went deeper. It was given the name the miner's friend. I never knew that. Thomas Savery was an engineer from Devon, fascinated by machines. The patent recognised today was for a new invention for raising of water and occasionally motioning to all sorts of mill work by the impellant force of fire. Invaluable the description promised for draining mines, serving towns with water, and for the working of all sorts of mills where they have not benefit of water nor constant winds. Savery's device had no piston. The moving part that again is particularly associated with the early steam engines invented only subsequently by a Frenchman called Denis Papin. Thomas Newcomb, also from the southwest, a man Savery had met, pioneered a later successful steam engine, which he then had to develop in cooperation with Savary, which utilised the latter's patent. Oh my God, it's too early. Which did make use of the piston and cylinder principle. Savary's machine did have very serious drawbacks. It had an unfortunate tendency to explode, though its dependency on high-pressure steam caused solder joints to rupture. And the engine had to be installed and maintained deep in a mine close to the water that needed to be pumped out. Still, it was a pioneering and important invention and illustrated the fact that steam power, which drove the industry revolution, emerged from the fertile competition rather than from the brainwaves of a single genius. None of that made sense to me. I hope it made sense to some of you listening. But to me, that was just gobbledygook. We're going down to cave next week at some point to check the track out for you and show you guys the caves. Oh, I can't wait, Dave. Can't wait. Like I said, just give me a message about 5 minutes before you go in live, so I can come on and have a look. So it's cloudy where you are. I know, bleeding. I'm taking the pee. Taking the pee. There's so much hate and violence in this generation, mental health is out of control. 100% agree, Marie. 100% agree. Don't violence seem to be getting worse at minute? I mean, where we are in Sheffield, it's supposed to be, well, it is a nice area, not supposed to be, it is a nice area, but every day John's going on and he's saying, oh my God, Sheffield's getting worse.
Yeah, it's not our area, though.
Not our area, no, but it's not far from us. It's about 20 minutes, 10 minutes. Oh, no, I know, I'm just saying. It's like near town centre where it's all kicking off. Stay safe, Lisa, my lovely. Have a good day. But yeah, it's just crazy. I've got a tarot reading this afternoon to give. I've got one booked in for this afternoon. So I'm going to be doing that roundabout. Well, I don't know. She's going to message me when she's come back from the hairdressers, because she's got the hairdressers. Don't you just hate these t-shirts when you're on phone and they look like they're coming off your shoulders? Scanty. Is it scantily? I don't know. Shocking. Thanks, sweets. Another cup of coffee. can watch you both later. No worries, Lisa. Leah, you can. We are going to be live later. We are going to try and get live later on members this afternoon. But we're having some electric work done. So it depends on when electric's back on and up and running. So we will be live later on. And we are live tonight, 9 o'clock members, 10 o'clock on the main page. Scantily clad, dressed. Yeah, that's it. Scantily. These t-shirts are scantily. I'm not wearing them again. It looks like my shoulders up to my neck, and it's not, look. Don't leave. Don't like being on my own. Don't leave. I'm not. Oh, Leah, you're leaving Dave on his own. There's nobody else on YouTube, only Dave. Bless him. But do you know, in about 10 minutes when I'm finishing up, everybody starts coming on and saying, morning, morning. So I don't know. John got over his punch in the face anyway, and I didn't punch him again last night in my sleep. I didn't dream of Sons of Anarchy last night. So he got away with not being knuckled in the eyeballs. I thought, I were hoping it were going to bruise, so I could say, look at that, put kettle on next time, biatch. But it didn't. It didn't bruise, so I couldn't say that. Your shoulders are meant to reach your neck, or your head would fall off. Yeah, but you know what I mean. It looks like my shoulders are look like my head's into my shoulders, if that makes sense. I don't know. But yeah. So, what else have we got to tell him? I don't know what else I've got to tell you. I could tell you me and John are getting married, but we've been getting married for about 6 years. And we've not done it.
You keep putting it off.
I don't keep putting it off. COVID put it off. It weren't me. It weren't me. I didn't put it off. This COVID put it off. But yeah. Are you back on your own now, Dave, then? What are you listening to? What are you watching? Something to do with oranges. I'm never going to eat an orange again. Oh, do you know, these things, it's like strawberries. I'm not bothered if there's little maggots in strawberries when I don't wash them with salt first. I don't even know if it's true, but I just eat them as they come. But yeah, I'm not sure whether Chelsea's out with us tonight or not. I might see if Chelsea's better off coming tomorrow. Oh no, we're not out tomorrow. Wait, Sunday we're going to be out because England's on tomorrow, and I'm going to be having a slight drink. So I may come on members afterwards because I'm not allowed to on the main when I've had a drink. We just come home with a Mackey's breakfast. Oh, Anne, you've been spoiled this morning. You've been spoiled.
I'd marry him if he did that.
John says he'll marry a man. Oh dear. I don't know. Antoinette's just sent me a message. But yeah, it's I don't even know what to have for breakfast. I don't even know what to have. But I can't eat anyway while 12 o'clock. So I'm in a bit of a pickle. No, I'm not. I've actually got used to it. I'm quite enjoying this diet. No, completely. Oh, that's bad. I'm not reading that out. That's a bad joke. But yeah, I've got used to it not eating. I'm not hungry anymore. First 3 days, oh my God. Do you know, it were never the mornings that bothered me about not eating. It's at night time. You know, when you sat and you're watching telly or we come back in from an investigation, I just want to nibble and I can't nibble now. I've got to say that's the hardest part. Anne says, John, you would soon send him back. He says that John says that about me. He says anybody that texts me on will send me back to him and they'll pay him to take me back. Oh dear, my mum always said that though. You know, when me and John first met, with my mum or Glyn that said it to you, that you can't bring me back now. What did he say to you now, with Glyn? Can you remember what he said to you?
Well, he offered me so many camels.
First time Glyn met with Glyn is my mum's other half, and
he offered me so many camels as a dowry.
But I told them they weren't allowed to bring me
I
back.
don't know to bring it back. And then every time I see him now, I just keep telling me I need a medal.
He does, keeps telling me needs a medal. I can't jack it. The eating plan. What I'm doing is I'm counting my calories. So I'm only having I'm having anything up to 1,200 calories a day, but I'm trying to keep it less. So some days I might have 900, some days I might have 1,050, some days I might have the full 1,200. Some days I actually go over.
But not in the
Not yet. Some days I actually go over. Morning, Antoinette, my lovely. So what I do is before 12 o'clock afternoon, I can only drink black coffee or water. Then at 12 o'clock, I have 100 grams of strawberries, 100 grams of melon, 2 tablespoons of natural, fat-free natural yogurt, a teaspoon of honey, and sometimes I'll mix like a fiber bar in there that's about 90 calories. Altogether, it comes to about 190 calories. So I have that. Then I just nibble through day, but I can't. But then after 8 o'clock at night, I can't eat or drink I can't eat anything, and the only thing I can drink is either black coffee, black tea, or water. Well, I won't drink black coffee at night anyway. I'm not a fan of black tea, so what I tend to do is I tend to just drink water, and then just before we go to bed, I have one of them Twinings sleep teas, and that's helping me sleep. Actually, it's relaxing me enough to sleep. And yeah, in a week I lost 7 stone. 7 stone would be a bloody miracle. I lost £7 in a week. So let's see what next Thursday brings for my second weighing. But I'm doing it all at home. I've got my pen and paper writing down everything that I need I'm putting into my body. I'm counting the calories properly. So last night we had for tea, I had a shepherd's pie, pre-made. Depending where you get it from will depend on calories. So that was 420. I had carrots, peas, and cabbage, which were about 100 calories. And then I had Henderson's relish, which was 40 calories. And all that. Oh no, that and my morning one, because I had a Tesco prawn salad for my dinner. Tesco prawn salad, with the pasta in. 336 calories for my dinner. So all together yesterday, I had 1,038 calories yesterday, and that's it. Day before, I had, for my tea, I had sweet potato, 312 grams. So you've got to measure everything, weigh everything out. And a sweet potato at 312 grams is only 268 calories. And then I had half a tub of cottage cheese, fat-free, which were 120. Tuna in water, which is 95 calories, but I put it at 100. I had salad, which was 10 calories. I had mayonnaise light at 20. Piccalilli, I found a tasting for me piccalilli. And piccalilli at 21. And that's what I had for my tea. And then about 7:30, I have a treat, because I know come 8 o'clock I can't eat. So at 7:30, I either have a fab lolly, or I'll have another fiber bar or an Alpen light bar. But it's working. It's working, and I feel like I'm having a cleanse. I feel like my inside, I feel like my brain's being cleansed, believe it or not, if that's possible. But it's like perked me up a little bit, if that makes sense, to where I'm feeling. I feel so good. I went for my bloods doing yesterday to see about me snoring. So hopefully that'll come back. Obviously, I know my BMI is way out anyway, which I know that is. But I'm just hoping, because they're doing full blood works, so I'll find out what my cholesterol is. Now, my cholesterol last year when I went in was at 3.8, I think it was last year, which was really, the big cholesterol. There's nothing wrong with my cholesterol, which means that I don't eat badly. So I'm hoping this year when I go back, I'm hoping this year, I'm hoping next week when doctor phones me, my cholesterol level is round about the same, because to say it's big non-exercise, I think, that helps put the weight. Don't get me wrong, I do sit and eat. I have pig out days like everybody else does. But apart from that, I do eat quite healthy, and I don't drink. And if we do, it's just like once in a blue moon that I have a drink. So now I only need a little bit of alcohol to send me a bit tipsy. So yeah, so it'd be fun and games on Saturday when I'm on here babbling and singing to you that football's coming home. John will not come live with me though. But the reason why, I'll tell you the reason why I won't come live when I've had a drink. I'm a very outspoken person, and I know how to conduct myself when I'm on social media, as in keeping out of the drama, because it's not my forte to go in. But I do have opinions. But I keep my opinions. Hey, Trisha, I keep my opinions to myself when I'm live. If I have a drink and I went on main, my opinions wouldn't necessarily stay to myself, because I'll get on a little rant and then I'll just say things, and loose lips sink ships. So my opinions then, it won't be enjoyed. And so I won't do it because I can be very opinionated, but I just know how to keep it mellow. But once you've had a drink in your mouth, all inhibitions just disappear, don't they? And you just say what you want because it's something that's bothering you. And I think the alcohol gives you that bit of not courage, but that bit of a voice to like, well, I don't get tossed now because I've had a drink. I can blame it on the alcohol. Unfortunately, you can't blame it on the alcohol, because even with the alcohol, you know what you're doing, or you know roughly what you're saying anyway. So to me, yeah. So I don't mind coming on to members because I'm not on main page. So, but I will behave anyway. I always behave. How are you, Trisha, my lovely lady? You're doing well. Dave's doing well. His weight loss. Who else is doing? Who else is trying to eat healthily? I'm not going to say the word diet because we're not on a diet. It's just changing the habits that we've got and eating healthily. So who else is on? Who else is doing? Trying to do a healthy eating regime for summer? If you are, what are your favourite snacks? So I know Trisha's doing Slimming World. I know I'm doing calorie counting. So Dave, you've just put you at gastric band fitted, and you've done amazing, Dave, with gastric band. Because again, it's changing that food, it's shrinking the stomach and everything else. So I'm okay. Thanks. 2.5 pound off. 2.5 pound to go. Then I've lost a stone. Wow, Trish. That's right, good Trisha. Only chips once a week for me. But you can have chips once a week, though, Mick. They're not bad. It's not bad for you to do that. It's just bad for you if you did it all the time. I'm calorie counting and exercising. Only go to Slimming World to be weighed and then walk back out. Do you know, Trisha, so many people do that, it's untrue. But do you know what you should do? You know, instead of going to Slimming World, what I used to advise those people that used to come and do that, I used to say, go to Boots, pay £1 and you get everything on. Just make sure you do it each week and you're good at the same machine. But don't pay somebody £5 to get on scales and walk out, because honestly, it's not worth it. Just by going and getting on one of them machines that gives you I think they're in Boots or Superdrugs and places like that. Yeah, bypass not banned. I've had 90% of stomach removed. Oh, sorry, David. Sorry, David. I thought it was banned. So David had the bypass. Sorry, not a band fitted. I retract that statement and apologise. So David had 90% of his stomach removed. Wow. That's going to make such a difference, though, Dave. Is that why is that? So what work prep for that then, Dave? You know, for anybody else that's thinking of having going down that path or having bypass. Time I lose weight, I find it again in the refrigerator. Could you tell us, David, then, for people that are thinking of having a bypass, what is the run up to doing it? Do you eat normally? Do you have to change your diet? Is there something big swimming world because it gives me motivation not to look at what by public way and then putting weight on. That was the reply I got back as well, Trish. Lindsay had a gastric bypass in 2008, was in a size 34 to 36 clothes, lost over 10 stone, but now I have put some back on. But you know what, Gillian? That's amazing. But for you the acknowledgement of you saying that I've put some back on gives you the power to take it back off, if that makes sense. So feed on that power and take that back. I would not pay £5 for somebody to tell me I'm overweight. See, Jackie, the one good, and I've got to agree with Trisha here, is if you know you're getting on them scales in front of a load of people, you don't want to be the one that puts weight on, because at the beginning of a slim, especially if you stay in, because at the beginning of the Slimming World meeting, the consultant has to tell the group the losses and the gains. And if they've had some big losses, but then they've had some big gains, it gives you that motivation. Me personally, I never read out the gains because to me that were wrong. I used to just read out the losses. So some weeks we might have like between 20 people, you might have something like I don't know, 78 stone lost or something daft like that. It's amazing what you do, what shows. I'll come on Facebook and say so everyone can. Do you know, David, that'd be a good one. I don't know if you fancy coming on maybe one morning. We'll look into it, coming on a morning, and we'll talk about gastric bypasses and things like that. If anybody's got anything that they'd like, morning Claire, I want my boobs chopped off, then I'd lose 5 stone straight away. It's surprising how heavy your boob is. I had a lady come in to me when I was a consultant, and she'd had breast cancer. So unfortunately, she had to have everything removed. And she come in and, because they give them like, it's like a false bra, but it's like a realistic boob in them. And we actually weighed them boobs. I think hers weighed, I think it was something like about 5.5 pounds. Could have even been slightly higher. They were and that were one. So like she said, when she were getting weighed in, and the reason she didn't like staying to group, because when she comes to get weighed in, she wouldn't come. She didn't put them on because she just it would. But she at the end of it, she felt amazing. But I've had people that when I was doing Slimming World, I had people that come to me that were type 2 diabetics on medication, and the medication just changed over time. So it's worth doing it if it's something, but it's a minimum 2-year path. All mine is coming off, my boobs. It's devastating because they are my best asset and my belly is the biggest issue. Do you know, I think women do tend to lose it though, don't they, Trish, on the bust? We start to get a smaller bust. But I think what you'll tend to find out with that is the more weight you lose, the more bigger your boobs will go back to normal, if that makes sense. But I know you will lose some off your boob because it's just part of dating. Try and do some exercises, see if you can do them. I must increase my bust kind of exercises. I'm not saying they work, Trish, and that might be an old wives' tale, but you never know. Can anybody remember that when you used to stand in house and you have to pull your arm back and out or something, and you go, I must increase my bust? I think you used to do that when we were about 8. I would love to lose weight, but got COPD, find it hard to move as cannot breathe. I've put down on food, but it's hard. Judith, I can't exercise. My mobility is limited. I have been doing a little bit more, trying to get myself a little bit more active. And I don't mean by walking far or just because I can't do that. And no matter what I do with the weight loss, I will never, ever be able to walk distances because that's part of the health condition to do with my spine and everything else. And I was like you, I struggled with weight loss because I couldn't exercise, and everything I were eating, I were putting weight on. In this last, since January, I think I've done about 4 different diets to try and lose weight. I lost a pound, then I gained a pound, then I lost a pound, then I gained 2, then I maintained. And it was so disheartening that as soon as I got on scales, because I wasn't seeing that motivational loss, I'd then said to John, go and get me a packet of minstrels from shops when you're good at shops, or get me a cake in for after tea, because it was so easier, because the comfort eating then. But then when I was eating it, I was sort of like crying inside, and I'm thinking, why am I eating this? Because it's just putting me, I'm just not shifting it. And then Yolanda says to me, have you ever done calorie counting? So I says, well, yeah, in a fashion. So she says, what do you mean, yeah? I says, well, I have calorie counted. I says, but I don't think I did it properly, because there were certain foods that I couldn't calorie count. If I went into the kitchen, I'd sneak a biscuit, but I wouldn't put it down on me paper or anything like that. So last Thursday, I said to myself, I'm going to calorie count. I'm going to count everything. And if you can limit yourself, Judith, for just 1 week, and all it takes is 1 week to get that, to make you look differently, is for 1 week, do what I've done, if you can. Obviously, some people can't, and you might have to change your times. So my time that I've done is 12 o'clock dinner till 8 o'clock at night. Some people might do 9 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock at night. Whatever it is, find your hours. But then just try and drink either the black coffee, the black tea, or the water until that time comes. And then calorie count your calories, everything that puts you, whether you're on bread. I mean, I've cut bread out, to be honest. Bread's my nemesis, because bread's just one of them that I could just, especially white bread, I could eat a loaf. It was like moreish. But yeah, try and do it, because I promise you, you will see a vast. It's difficult, like I said, it's not easy. But I think you've got to not be at rock bottom when you start these kind of diets, but you've got to be feeling that you can do it. You've got to have that little bit of motivation first, to so that you can, that you're in your head's in the right space. But it's been amazing. I've done a blog on Facebook detailing my whole journey from start to finish, start through up to now. That's really good. What you have to do, you have to drop that. Is it like I don't know, is it like Dave's weight loss journey, or is there a page, is there a group that you're doing it in? Biscuits, you know, Antoinette, if you look at biscuits, some of them are quite low, I'm going to say low calorie, because even at 89, but then what I do is I look at that biscuit and I think for 89 calories, I could have, for one biscuit, say if I had, I don't know, one digestive thing, it could be like, I don't know, let's call it 79 calories for one digestive. I know one digestive is not going to do me, but I know that if I have either 2 hi-fi bars, they're 66 calories each. I know if I have 2 of them, it feels like I'm having more, if that makes sense. Morning, Jules. It feels like that I'm in control, and it's taking that control back. Yeah, I need to do this, as I also have a brain tumor and family, and yes, love bread. I really want to do it. If you, Judith, do you know, if you need to message me every day, your food, your calories and everything, just so it's like I've got Yolanda and I've got John and I've got Rob, that I can say I'm going to have this, and not one of them turn around and say you can't have that. They just turn around and say just count it in, just count them, be honest, no matter what it is. Even if you go off, like last Sunday we went to that what is it, artisan market. Bearing in mind, I'd only started my healthy eating on the Thursday. We went to the artisan market and I had a crepe. Now, this crepe, I didn't realise, but honest to God, it was massive. And it was filled with cheese, ham, and tomato. John reckons that the woman put about a full block of cheese on it because it was that full. I managed to eat, I think, did I eat half or just over half? I think I had half in it, just over half. And then I said to John, I can't eat rest of it. So John had other half for me. He didn't have one. So we like shared one between us. Morning, Jules. YouTube to here. No worries, my love. And when I got in, I said to Rob, because we were looking at it, and I said, when we were out looking, I said, oh, there are only 396 calories or something for these crepes. Well, yes, it is 396 for a crepe if it's tiny. The one I had was like put two dining plates together, and that's how big. So in end, I ended up, because I'd only had half, and I took into account little bits and pieces. I think I put down for that one about 2,000 calories. And then I had my tea as normal. So that day I might have had 2,500 calories. But the rest of the week I stuck to plan, and I stuck to my calorie intake. I stuck to my hours that I could eat between. And it's not going to work for everybody. You have to find what works for you. Before I'd have done calorie counting, Slimming World would have been my go-to. I couldn't do Weight Watchers, but Slimming World I could. Since the plans changed with Slimming World, I find it more difficult because I prefer doing the red and green days. But the calorie counting for me has just got my, it's got my interest. Blimey, always miss your morning chat. Oh, Debs. Debbie, just know that I always come on. I always put a reminder up in the morning at time I'm coming on. So I set the live up so everybody can see what time I'm live. And I normally do that about 8:30. Thank you, Claire. I feel amazing, though. I feel so different in myself. I can't tell you how. That I can't explain the boost that I've had in a week, if you know what I mean. Dave's put the link to his blog in. It's Dave's Journey. So if anybody's wanting to look, the link is there. I don't know if you can click on it. It's not like highlighting for me, but the link is there, or just Google Dave's Journey. As I said, was also on Jeremy Kyle's emergency rooms. Yeah, well, yeah. Dave was also on Jeremy Kyle's emergency rooms. So if anybody wants to try and watch that, I'm sure there'll be links to watching that. Charlie, you can get the ball yourself. Do you know, Charlie lays crying, so we have to bend down. Well, we don't. Robin Yolanda have to bend down and get the balls that he's rolled under the cabinets. But then they'll get that, and then there's nothing under the cabinet, and he's just crying for nothing. Oh, you. Charlie boy. I woke up 9:15 and still I'm tired this morning. I think I might try and have another. It's on blog, the video. Oh, that's good, Dave. I'm gonna submit link through Messenger because I'm gonna follow you, my lovely. I was gonna do a blog and then I thought no. I mean, I've took a couple of before pictures. They'll never go up till I lose them. Until I get down to where I want to be, I'll never put them up and I'll never go on camera again. I'm only messing. I will. Boris says ears are up now. Hey, Boris. But yeah. So right, I am going to leave it this morning. I'm going to jump off. I'm going to finish my second coffee, followed by water for another 2 hours. And then I can prep my breakfast. And again, this morning's breakfast is going to be strawberries. Strawberries, frozen grapes. Yeah, so I think my breakfast will come to, let's have a look. I can tell you how many calories are in my breakfast. About 190 calories will be in my breakfast this morning. So yeah, just make sure you do your weighing and thinking. Just waiting for my lift. Just had my haircut for the first time in a year and a half. I know I'm having mine done on Saturday. I'm bricking it because I think she's going to take it too short. But I hope she don't. But I do think there's got to be about that much that comes off ends of my hair if I'm lucky. But yes, so everybody have a cracking morning. We shall see you later. I can't copy. What I'll do, Debs, is I'll get Dave to send me link, and then I'll share link into onto I'll share the link on pay, not on groups. Just had 3 inches off. I wish I could. Thank you, and my love, like Boris Barking, looking for Fifi outside. I don't even know where Fifi's gone to. I think she's either out on garden or she's took herself back to bed. So yeah, everybody take care. Have a great afternoon. Stay safe, and we shall see you later on. Hopefully it'll be a live this afternoon and then live tonight. 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock members, 10 p.m. main and YouTube. So love you loads, guys. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Have a wonderful day.